What's up? This is e28 Who, and this is my current M21 project. So, what we got going on here, to lead the AC, we're going to mount an intercooler right there. In the middle of piping it together and other stuff. We have a whole set HE351 turbo off a 3rd gen Cummins turbo diesel. The only problem is with it right now, why I've not really made any progress on it. As you can see, it makes contact with the head. So I have a buddy who has a mill and a machine shop. What we're gonna do is, I don't know if you can see all that well. See how it kind of gaps right there? What we need to do is, I can't lift it single-handedly. What I want to do is get him to machine a little block that can lift about an inch there and maybe 2 inches there, and run studs up this way and up that way, and then on the bottom side of the block we're going to run studs down, and then on this one down, and then bolt it up through. So that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of standstill. But then for the other side of the intercooler, I'd like I need to loosen the clamp up on the back here. That's my oil feed line. That should not be out in the open, but it kind of is right now. I'll just do this. I'm probably going to get screamed at for doing this, but I don't have plugs. And as you can see, my engine bay is kind of dirty. It is what it is. Still works perfectly fine. We're gonna run piping from over here, go straight, and then this is what I'm currently working on, is deciding where I'm gonna mount my intercooler. If I wanna have the pipes coming up top through here, going out through here, or have the piping down here. It's 2.5 inch piping. I can do piping down here, but my cooler lines are kind of in the way. So that's where we're at with that. More likely I'm gonna do it up here, but if I do that up here, I will have to take out that headlight and kind of trim this piece here. I have read that the E30 headlight mounts will work on E28, so they're not all that rare apart. So it's no big deal if these get cut up. And if the E30 headlight mounts don't work, then I know people. I can find a new one. And for this side, we're going to have to cut this out here. And then I'd like to relocate the battery, put it in the trunk, and have it coming out over here. Again, trimming this headlight mount, then going up in this general area. And then I'm going to have to get this piece here, cut this off here, and cut a hole in it about the same size. I think it's a 2.5 inch, and then weld it right here. So it'll just be straight, or angle it. I thought about angling it over here, but yeah, still kind of working on that. My VE pump, emergency shut off. I've thought about cutting it off right here, and then mounting a tube, like aluminum tube, kind of how you see on drag or high horsepower 12 valve builds, and they kind of have a tubular intake manifold. It still mounts at the same spot, comes up, but I think it'd sit just like a little bit closer to the head. I mean, won't be that big of a deal, I wouldn't think. I can relocate all this stuff. I need to get a new plug for that. That's kind of just hanging there. But yeah. Can't really think of anything else that's going on. For the EGR valve, typically you'd see them, your charge pipe here on the stock turbo would come out over here and then go back. Your EGR valve would come from, trying to, yeah, you can't quite see it. Oh yeah, right there. Right there is where it has a hole in it. My EGT plug kind of fell out. But yeah, that's where EGR valve would come out. It's kind of block off plate there. Actually no, I have two. Yeah, I have two stacked there. Yeah, I have two stacked there, so there's no hole. There's no leaks. Doesn't leak. I have a gasket behind it. And ouch. And it'll come up into your charge pipe there, and your car would basically be in its own poop. And I didn't want that, so I blocked it off to leave it. Jumping back to the intake manifold, if I did a custom intake manifold, the only problem is right here is your blow-off valve. Blows off at about 14 psi, and yeah, I'd have to get a new one, mount a new one, but that's no big deal. It is not blow by oil. Car's not blown up yet. But as far as what I am planning to do with the car, turbo, hoping to make about 20-25 psi. I've read that the car with stock head bolts, stock gasket, it can handle 30. And if it does end up making 30, then it is what it is. I just really want to push this car to its limits, see where I can get it to, and then go from there. Maybe build a motor, put a 4BT into it or something. The injection pump, I have the screw kind of buried. Yeah, it's your smoke screw, you're not supposed to touch it, blah, blah, blah. When I bought this car, it was dead. It would not even do a burnout. But I have took the pin from inside there. You undo these 4 bolts. All you have to do is really look up how to mod a V injection pump on a Cummins turbo diesel. And yeah, basically the same thing. You just go, you pop that off, take the pin inside there, rotate it 180 degrees to where the steepest side points that way. And your star, there's a, they call it a star screw. You click that 2 points, or 2 clicks clockwise, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1 or 2. I cannot remember, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, she does roll coal, which is, yeah, too much fuel, I know, but yeah, it gets the job done. It's a fairly fun car. The only problem is with my injection pump, it leaks fuel way down in there. You can't quite see it. It leaks fuel. If you look in here on my frame rails, you'll probably see fuel, and it leaks fuel, but it is what it is. I need to get that redone eventually. But as far as mods on the car, big old turbo. Fuel pump, EGR delete, it's deleted. AC delete, if you want to count that as a mod. No airbox, obviously. That all stuff, I plan on tucking all the wires back in behind there eventually. I'd like to redo the coolant tank, get that somewhere where it looks a little bit cleaner. This kind of is a trap car, but yeah, it's a project. It's not perfect by any means. It's probably a lot of people going over there like, oh, the tires are rusting. Whatever. This thing is pretty mint, actually. Don't find too many of them anymore. I'd like to get the cable for the glow plugs someday. That'd be nice. Alternator needs changed. That's gone out. Actually, the last time I drove it, which was about 3 months ago. Yeah, left me sitting, actually. That's another story. There's a lot of wiring I'd like tucked away. Get rid of them ugly things over there, because that just bothers me. Relocate the battery in the trunk, but yeah, it is not a perfect car by any means. It's dirty, it's been sitting, my hood stack hole. I took out the windshield wiper, whatever you want to call them, nozzles, just because I thought it would look cleaner. The windshield wipers, I deleted them because I thought it would look cleaner. Each to their own. I think it looks cleaner. My BBS style 5s I purchased and redid myself. They need repolished, but they're not perfect. I wanted them like this because my car is not perfect. I mean, if you can notice, my bronzite is 2 different colors. I think the person I bought it from before wet sanded it, and he was gonna buff it out to match this, and he never got around to it. So the entire car is like that, except for that one panel. But yeah, she's a project. It's been sitting a little bit because I work full time. I just don't have time at the moment. I need to get another one of them, but another day. But yeah, that's my e28. If you'd like me to do a video of me working on it or how I managed to do whatever, rest spot, yeah, I have to get a better camera, and I'm sorry if I'm shaking like a leaf, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll do a walk around of it maybe next time when it's all cleaned up. Crackless dash. Maybe I'll do a video of how I installed that. But still an automatic. I have a manual to swap it with, but I've yet to get everything together for that. I have the 3-pedal harness. I just need the manual transmission lines and the drive shaft, I do believe. I'm not sure what else I need for that. I still need to do research on that. AC button that does nothing. Keep it on hot, actually, so my motor doesn't overheat, actually. I have a little bit of a heating problem with that. When I had my bigger turbo, I would overheat. That's why I want to go even bigger turbo and intercooler. So it keeps my EGTs down, keeps me from burning my crap up. Basically a little tractor. It's a fun car. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you want me to make more videos, comment down below, subscribe if you want to. Could care less, honestly. I'll probably still do videos of me driving it, or my brother or girlfriend. They all love the car. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and yeah.